Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. While Harris questions Stefan and Ava about their activities on the docks, Stefan discreetly grabs the baggie containing drugs. Stefan takes little packages of flour and they apologize about the bistro. Harris presses Ava for the real reason behind their breakup. Does she feel love for Stefan? She launches into a forceful denial, pausing midway. She informs him after a beat that although things haven't progressed that far, they are now dating. She apologizes for deceiving him. She responds, overcome with emotion, he's a really great guy, adding that she will always remember their time together. Later, Harris cautions Stefan not to meddle with Ava as he takes the final flour bag. He says, "I'm watching you," and then scuttles off. Tate takes Holly's gift out of the garbage while pouting at John and Marlena's. Then he throws the book away once more. Holly comes over to tell him she's sorry for using him to get to know Johnny. She is aware that it wounded him and that her relationship with Johnny was never going to work. She regrets not listening to his advice before embarrassing herself by calling her stepbrother while intoxicated. However, she was preoccupied with her fantasy and failed to notice what was in front of her. Holly accepts Tate's decision to end their date at the bistro. She would never give her another chance if she were him. "Are you requesting one?" Tate queries. She answers, "Not if you don't want one." After the way she treated him, she doesn't think she deserves anything. Not even a Christmas/birthday combo present. He asks. From the trash, he retrieves the first edition of Pride and Prejudice. She tells him she thinks it's great and asks if he wants to go on the date. He asks her to the bistro on New Year's Eve after making fun of her. She accepts with joy. It's midday when Rafe and Jada awaken in Rafe's bed. They make the decision to put down their phones for the day and concentrate only on one another. Jada notices the mishmash decor Rafe's mother and Gabby put together as they lay in bed. She remarks with warmth, "It feels like home." Rafe takes over and offers her the tamales that Gabby typically makes for Christmas because she isn't present. When he visits Gabby in prison, he intends to bring her tamales. He promises to track down Lee's true murderer and return Gabby home. Jada advises playing a fun and distracting game of Christmas trivia. Rafe invites her to sing the 12 Days of Christmas when he misidentifies Santa's reindeer. She agrees and wows him by including lyrics about tamales made according to his abuela's recipe. Taking that as a clue, he goes to the kitchen and gets the tamales. Jada describes them as flawless. Though relieved, Rafe hopes to see Gabby again next year so they can spend more time together. Saying they can reheat them later, he grabs Jada's dish. They share a kiss. Jada tells Rafe that she hasn't felt this good in a long time after having sex. She has never felt like this before, not even with her former partner. Their possession is more robust and profound. With him, she feels secure. Regarding her, Rafe has the same feelings. He feels happy that she is in his life. Wendy and Tripp talk about getting together for an early Christmas meal with Ava while sitting on the park bench. Wendy's mother wants her to move to China, and she hates having to phone her. She knows she should help her parents in their grief over Lai, but she is unsure of how to leave the life she has built for herself there. She asks, "How can I leave you?" Tripp will accept her decision no matter what, even though he really wants her to stay in Salem. He goes to fetch hot chocolate for them. Melinda stops by and takes a seat next to Wendy. Wendy is deeply sad for Lai, but she still harbors resentment at Melinda for luring him in order to get a confession. Melinda says she grew to truly care about him, even if she's not proud of that. Lai was a decent man who committed many errors because of love. Melinda sort of gets Lee's love for Gabby since nothing is more soul-satisfying than love. She wishes she had been more receptive to love and less demanding. She still has time, Wendy assures her. Melinda supposes, but she doesn't feel worthy of love and hasn't been feeling good about herself recently. She compliments Wendy on every level and hopes that Wendy is not like that. Wendy expresses gratitude and seizes the chance to seek guidance. Wendy talks about her conflict between responsibility and love, and Melinda then asks what she wants. Trip reappears carrying 2 hot cocos. Does everything seem okay to Trip? Wendy gives Melinda a tight hug and remarks, "More than okay." In the square, Alva runs into Trip and Wendy. Trip announces some exciting news. While Wendy announces she's heading to China, Alva eagerly anticipates marriage and children. Trip continues, "I'm moving with her." Ava's happy Christmas becomes menacing as her expression tightens. Fans of Days of Our Lives get to celebrate a birthday of sorts just a few days after Christmas. J. Kenneth Johnson made his screen debut as an adolescent Philip Kyriakis in one of the most dramatic cases of soap opera rapid aging syndrome ever captured on camera, 24 years ago today. It had only been 4 years, in 1995, since Philip had been born on television. Now 16, the 4-year-old faced a plethora of teenage issues. Whatever you want to say about Philip, and his admirers have a lot to say right now, his life has never been boring. Johnson has transformed Philip from a bad boy to a horrible guy over the years, but despite his despicable deeds, he never allows the tormented Kyriakis to lose hope. However, we have to recognize that sometimes it's tougher for us to find than for others. It would be an understatement to say he is complicated. However, given that Vivian Alamain brought Kate Roberts and Victor Kyriakis to term and delivered their child, what more is to be expected? Although he is not very heroic, he does have a strong sense of independence. We were certain Philip had to reconcile with Chloe, his first love, when Johnson first brought him back for his most recent assignment. That sure took a bad turn, boy. Nevertheless, it's difficult not to have some sympathy for the Kyriakis Cheyenne. He never seems to be able to make things work out. He enlisted in the military to take on villains such as Tony DeMira, but in the process he lost his leg and had a face transplant. He has never had children, despite believing at one point that he was the father of 4 children. Sean owned Claire, Daniel owned Parker, Melanie lost her pregnancy, and Tyler. Tyler, however, has spent his whole childhood in foster care. However, we have to acknowledge that a large portion of Philip's misery is mostly his own fault. Following the discovery of nude images of her, Philip humiliated and dumped Chloe, forcing her to move on with Brady all those years ago. He sought to get Belle back by blackmailing his ex-girlfriend back into bed after losing her to Sean. Additionally, Philip and John had a financial dispute that ended with Philip placing drugs aboard the ships owned by Basic Black. His inclination to do evil frequently gets in the way of his attempts to do the right thing. Simply put, Philip is complicated, which contributes to the fact why he has frequented Salem so frequently throughout the years. Periodically, he must depart, restart, and return to attempt life in Salem one last time before everything goes terribly wrong. This is the reason he, against portrayed by John Paul Lavoisier, came back, more attuned to his disturbed but usually well-meaning origins, after his latest departure to seek mental help. And even though he and Chloe said goodbye to Victor and traveled to New York together, though not quite together, it seems sense that he would return when it becomes clear that Xander is his long-lost brother. For although Xander has been anything but a welcome member of the family, Alex has always been accepted. He's stealing the family home and business would undoubtedly be the only explanation. Philip must return to the city with a bang and take on Victor's youngest son. Heck, he ought to come back sooner rather than later, since Philip is the one member of the family who can put Constantine in his place and prevent him from taking advantage of Victor's wealth. Heck, set him up for murder when you're not sure. How come? With Brady, it nearly worked. Even though several people have filled Philip's shoes, the man who originated the role always gets to keep it. Johnson is the animating force behind Philip's occasionally bizarre behavior, and despite his antics, he is an actor who consistently delivers an incredible trip for us. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.